Dr. Betty DeLass, owner and founder of Reborn Pelvic Health and Wellness. It has been fascinating to chat with you as we were getting ready to come on. Now, how do you know if you need some prehab or rehab for your pelvic floor?
Totally. There can be many things that could be going on. You could have low back pain, tailbone pain, SI joint pain, pelvic pain, leaking or incontinence, pain with intercourse, a whole host of those different things, heaviness in the pelvis. All of those things are not normal. And so if you have any issues with those things, it's often an indication that pelvic floor physical therapy is for you.
There's so much we go through as a woman and when we are having our children as well. And you say, why wouldn't we do this for pregnancy, the biggest musculoskeletal change that happens in someone's life?
Yeah. So if you think about it that way, like if you were to have a total knee or a total hip done, you would start rehab in the hospital, and you would also do prehab ahead of that and then rehab after that to really help the outcomes of that. And so from that change that happens when we grow babies and give birth, there's so much that happens, even more so than probably just a surgery. And so we can do a lot to help prevent issues and then really recover from those to get back to exercise and really optimize your entire life.
You know, you talk about how it's the 6-week mark that they give you the green light, and 6 weeks is nothing after your body has gone through what it's gone through to get the baby here.
Yeah, so 6 weeks is really that traditional marker from like a physician standpoint of like uterine healing and things like that, but so much happens. Like you still need to lift your car seat and put your baby in the crib and do the laundry and all these other things, and then getting back into exercise. We can't just go, 6 weeks, back to running.
Yes.
It needs to be a progression of like, okay, let's start with some basics, get the foundation there, and then build on top of that to get back to whatever your goals are. So a lot of people still have goals to run marathons, do triathlons, other CrossFit events, whatever your choice is. And so we really want to make sure that we're taking you through that full transition so that you can progress appropriately so you don't end up with further problems.
And this is something that you are passionate about because you are an athlete. You do all of those things.
Yep.
So putting yourself back together when needed is something that can be done. This is so amazing. Talk to me about the stages. Somebody hears, the help and health of your pelvic floor, and what do they say?
Yeah, so I've come up with the 5 stages of pelvic health and wellness. And so the first stage is OMG, is she really talking about what I think she's talking about? And that's usually when people are like, oh, pelvic floor, like there's muscles down there, like what's going on? And then stage 2 is the Kegel stage, where people are just just do your Kegels, do more Kegels, do hundreds of Kegels a day. And then stage 3 is like, why are these Kegels not working? Because of many reasons, but the Kegels aren't working, they don't want to do surgery, they've tried they've exhausted everything, and then finally someone's like, oh, have you heard of pelvic floor physical therapy? And then the stage 4 is, I went to pelvic floor physical therapy and it changed my life. And so they've literally gotten rid of all of their symptoms. They can do everything, life to the fullest. They're not leaking, no back pain, no pain with intercourse, all a host of other pelvic floor issues. And then stage 5 is the optimal vagina stage, is what I like to call it, where you're living life to the fullest. You're not even thinking about your pelvic floor, and you're just telling everyone about how great it is, and that, oh my gosh, you need to go see pelvic floor therapy.
Okay, you talked about the muscles.
Yeah.
We don't even realize sometimes what we have inside of our own bodies. We have this
I brought my
that
pelvis.
you brought right here, and you can see everything red right there.
Everything is red as muscles. Yep, and there's muscles that connect up into the abdomen and through the glutes in the back and down your legs. So fascially, everything's connected. And so babies grow on top of this, and they either come through down here or they come through C-section, and so all of that gets disrupted from a variety of reasons.
Oh yeah. Yep, they sure do. So when you come in and you begin that therapy, what is it like? What is it that you are doing to the body?
Yeah, so typically we're like any other medical professional. They'll come in, we'll do a full medical history on you, and then we'll evaluate you from head to toe. So we're physical therapists first, then we're orthopedic therapists, and then we're pelvic physical therapists because we're so nerdy, we just have to keep learning. And so we'll do a full head to toe movement analysis. We'll look at your spine, your rib cage, your abdomen, your hips, your pelvis, your low back, SI, all the way down to your feet, and then we'll both do an external and an internal pelvic exam to examine what's all going on so we can find the underlying root cause and then treat that accordingly. Because honestly, we could have 5 people walk in with the same condition of like, I pees, which is like peeing when you sneeze, but it's all for 5 different reasons because we have to evaluate what's truly the underlying cause of that peasing.
Well, this is incredible information. Thank you so much for being here and educating us on this. You have 3 locations, Salt Lake City, West Jordan, Lehigh, and you also have a special, $67.
Yep.
And what does that entail?
So the $67 assessment is our introductory assessment where we would spend a half an hour with you to make sure you're in the right place with the right provider at the right time. We'll assess breathing, we'll assess for abdominal separation, diastasis recti, we'll assess some muscle activations, and then we'll go through a screening protocol with you to see if you'd qualify for a full-on evaluation, which would be that head-to-toe analysis.
That is affordable to get all
to get
of
started.
that expertise. Betty, thank you so much for being here. So much to learn.
Thanks for having me.
Wow. All right. What is up next, Nisha?
Tina, I just learned a new word, peasing.
Peasing. Do you love it?
It just
Peasing.
fits. It does. I think ladies out there, you know what she's talking about. Hey, up next, I'm catching up with Miss Utah's outstanding teen as she prepares to end 2 years of service and pass on the title. She will not only share about her experience, but her talent with us as well. Stay tuned for that singing performance.